Sometimes, if you listen really hard, you can almost hear it.
Our first ever instant star is...
You're it, girl. You're the real thing.
That moment your life changes.
It's about a girl who is just about to fly off and see the world.
Forever.
Jude Harrison!
Hello, and welcome to The Breakdown, an Instant Star Rewatch podcast. We are back for Season 3, and I think we were both the most excited we've been this entire time.
Yes.
As always, I am joined by my gorgeous co-host, Sam.
And I'm with the beautiful Chloe.
And my cat is trying to cause noise disruption. We are back sooner than I was anticipating, actually. I feel like, personally, I am just trying to get my ass in gear and stick to a better schedule for these things. But we are back for Season 3, and I don't know about you, but I've watched only one episode of Season 3, and I am ready for Season 3.
I am like, yes. I'm like, Season 3, there's a reason why I don't watch you that much. And it's because you make me like somebody that I really don't want to like. But there's a reason you're my favorite.
For context, I haven't watched Season 3 probably for like 15 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Probably when I was in America last time, whenever that was.
Yeah, I think like the last time I watched it was when we were together.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think I'm watching it through brand new eyes of being in my 30s. From memory, this episode, because today we're recapping, this episode is going to be all over the place, by the way, because I'm so excited.
Yes.
Today we are recapping Season 3, Episode 1, Lose Yourself. My memory of this episode, when I think back to the last time I watched it, was that I didn't like it that much. But I literally just finished watching it about 10 minutes ago. I love it. It's probably one of my favorite episodes so far.
Yes. Like, so, for me, okay, a little context. Chloe, you know a lot more going on in my life than our listeners. But I have been going through a lot of healing, both just mental health healing and some self-healing and things like that. And I kind of feel like I'm a brand new person.
Same.
So last time watching this, 15, 16 years ago was, I'm picking up on a lot more now in our 30s that I didn't then. And so, like I said, I literally I love somebody right now that I usually hate. I'm like, if I was to rate my favorite characters in this episode, he would be number one. And that never ever happened.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it because Jamie Andrews, this episode, actually Jamie Andrews for the whole of Season 3.
Jamie Andrews is like king.
Glow up.
I'm like, glow up, Mr. Please. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, it's... this episode just knocked it out of the park for me. I couldn't believe how much I enjoyed it, and we'll get to the episode rating at the end, but top tier episode.
Yes, I really wish for Christopher Turner's sake. I think I just totally butchered his last name. I can't.
No, I think that's it.
Yeah, I don't have it in front of me. But for like his sake, I wish I would have appreciated this episode back then,
Yes.
like I do now, because it would have made me appreciate Jamie more. And I spent a lot of years just being like, Jamie sucks. And right now I'm like, Jamie is king.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get into it. So, like I said, we're recapping season 3, episode 1, Lose Yourself. Originally aired the 16th of February 2007. The synopsis that I have is Jude's life is changing for the best. I don't know about that. Her CD is skyrocketing and she's become a real star. That is until the new instant star Karma comes in and changes everything for the worst. And obviously the episode title is Lose Yourself, which I think we all know that it's the 2002 song by Eminem from 8 Mile, which FYI is an incredible movie.
Dude, Eminem is GOAT. Like, Eminem is greatest rapper of all time.
100%.
I will fight to my death for that. I don't care. That is the hill I would die on.
Same, 100%. Okay, let's get into the recap. Take it away, Sam.
Okay, so Jude pulls up to the Instant Star. I said Instant Star Arena. I don't think it's an Instant Star Arena, but it's where the show is being held. With a picture of Tommy and Caulfield on her phone screen. It's Jude Harrison night on Instant Star. The 4 finalists cover Waste My Time. Jude's voiceover is both thankful for Instant Star, but worried she is being replaced.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. The next day, she meets with Darius to tell him that she wants to move on from Instant Star. Still wants to be a part of G Major, but wants to move on from the. She wants to be a star, not so much instant.
We'll talk about that.
She wants to focus on her artistry and her songwriting. She's telling a distracted Jamie the good news when Sadie comes up to her with the blackmail from Camera Bar Creeper in season 2 with the envelope from Camera Bar Creeper guy in season 2 finale. Karma tries to ambush Jude for some pointers. Sorry guys. Jude just basically brushes her off. Speederman calls Jude out for being a brat.
You're cool.
Yes. Jude's phone rings when she walks past / into Studio A, and oh my gosh, it's Tommy!
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. He doesn't tell Jude where he is or why he's there, just that he's got something to finish up. He does tell her he'll be back soon enough, and that she can handle whatever's going on.
Side note, I don't think she can.
And side note, I know she can. As we will talk about later. Sadie, in the next scene, Sadie and Jude are looking at the pictures when Stuart comes home. He asks why Patsy and her car are in the driveway. Jude and Sadie say something about she lives in it and that she prefers the car over the futon that they've offered her. Patsy beats to her own drum. God love her.
Yep.
When they get rid of Stuart, Jude drops the phone call bomb because that's what it was. And Sadie just says, way to keep those expectations low, when Jude says, at least he called me back, after they bicker back and forth about Tommy a little bit. And Sadie dropped some great lines about Tommy being, yeah.
Yeah.
I think if you listen to our season 2, 12 and 13, you kind of got where my head is about Tommy right now. The next day, Jude seeks Karma out to apologize and offer some advice. And then Steve and Sadie find out she can't get an advance. Because in between her and Sadie finding out, Jude and Karma do go to the loft and they play some foosball, and Jude ends up coming clean about the pictures. And sometime between Jude and Sadie being at the bank, we don't see it, but we find out later that Karma went to Darius about the pictures, and because we find out that Dee put a stop on Jude's advance, and he says that he'll take care of the guy in the pictures, but that means that Jude has to do something for him. And of course, for Darius, that means she has to sing in the finale. Jude gets all whiny and mopey because she's not getting her way. I was not a fan of Jude this episode.
Me neither.
I'm just like, Alex, I love you. I'm not a fan of Jude right now. Patsy and Jude, at first, they're having a good little talk, and then I forget who said something first, but they realize that basically Jude is being a baby, and that they're not the same. And so when Jude leaves, she goes back to Instant Star because she is, instead of standing up for herself, she's being Darius's little, choosing not to say that word. She's doing what Darius says. And so Jude tells Karma that Dee hates the stilettos with her outfit. To me, cementing putting the final nail in the coffin on the feud that they've had going back and forth on episode. Tommy shows up backstage with the mystery little girl that popped up back when he was having the phone conversation with Jude, and that we saw in the season 2 finale. While when he first walked in, Jude went to rush over to him and greet him. As soon as she got close enough, the little girl came around the corner. So, in typical fashion, Jude overreacts and runs to the dressing room, throws a fit.
Typical Jude.
Poor Jude. Jamie, he honestly tries to comfort her, but he's not being gentle about it. He basically tells her he said, who always, isn't it enough crying over Tommy? And she always ends up the victim, and it's time to grow up.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. Jude sings Should I Stay? Should I say or should I? Yeah. Then tells Dee that she's a pro and to get ready to treat her like one. Karma wins Instant Star Season 3. The little after the show has ended and there's not many people left backstage, Tommy's sitting with the little girl, and when Darius walks up, and the little girl calls Darius daddy, which I was super excited because I once upon a time was writing Instant Star season 1 my way, and I had named the daughter in that universe Maya, and I totally thought that was just a name I pulled up out of my mind. But no, like, I had the subtitles on, and apparently the show and the daughter's named Maya. And I
Yeah,
was
it is.
like, yes, that is not something I just made up. It is canon. Sorry, random tidbit from like 10 years ago. Um, and then Jude posts the pictures on her own website. And the episode ends.
Well, yeah, what an episode. Let's go from the top because there is so much to dissect. Let's think back to the end of season 2. We left Jude a mess. Tommy had left. She didn't know why. She ran off instead of performing. She got drunk. She had a creepy camera guy take pictures of her. And then her second album went to number 1. So the season ended on a high note, but she was kind of a mess underneath.
Yes.
Season 3 starts immediately with this kind of glitzy, glamorous aura about it. You know, the episode opens and we see Jude in this shiny limo. It's nighttime. Her hair is completely different. She looks $1 million.
Yeah.
I literally just wrote, like, how good does Jude look? Actually, how good does everyone look in this episode? I feel like they had a new stylist or more of a budget. Everyone's hair in particular looks amazing.
Oh, yeah.
But Jude looks $1 million and she's trying to call Tommy. He's not picking up and she looks kind of nervous. And right off the bat, you're like, you know, the contrast from the end of season 2 to this is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And we see her kind of get out of this limo to this crowd of fans who she's signing autographs for. And we learn that she's at the new Instant Star contest. And that night is Jude Harrison night.
Yes.
So the final 4 contestants are singing only her songs. So we see this interesting mashup of Waste My Time. And Jude starts worrying that whoever wins Instant Star isn't trying to be like her. They might be trying to become her.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that continues throughout season 3, this worry that she has about being replaced.
Yeah.
Interesting that they chose Waste My Time as the song to perform. I wonder why, out of all of her catalogue, they chose that one. I would say it's not a fan favourite particularly.
If I had to guess, like, okay, in a show setting, knowing that Darius is involved, I would say, oh, the Darius of it all, because Shay being his nephew and this and that. That's the feeling I would go with why they picked Waste My Time.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about Shay. Lol.
I mean,
how long ago does Waste My Time feel like?
Yeah.
Different universe.
It does.
But I thought that was a really interesting opener because, I don't know, it just feel like I said at the beginning of season 2 felt like a brand new show. So does season 3.
Yes.
Like, it feels like we just left season 2 behind.
Mm-hmm.
In the dust.
Yeah.
And then we have the opening credits and we see G Major. And it's like G Major is just firing on all cylinders. Again, there's a contrast between... Do you remember G Major at the beginning of season 2? Like, Darius had kind of just moved in, so to speak. Whereas the opening with this, it's like everything's happening, everyone's there. Darius has turned into this amazing machine.
I was gonna say it even looked like G Major kind of got like an upgrade from
Yep.
season 2 to season 3.
Yeah, 100%. Everything is just more kind of glitzy. I love it.
Well, and what I liked is how when it was like doing the mirage of going in and everybody there, like I'm okay. Do you remember? I'm using Sadie because she's like the best compare contrast I can think of. Do you remember when Sadie first started at G Major? She was all like business outfits, like
Yeah.
distinctly remember like a pink jacket and a pink like. It honestly reminded me of like a librarian outfit,
No.
but this time, we see her in season 3. She's like leaned over the desk like this, and jeans and a t-shirt, just kind of like doing something with a pencil, her hair. Like everybody's so much more comfortable.
Yes. Yeah, but
And
it
then,
feels like G major equals success now.
yeah,
Yeah, it's amazing. I also feel like it was shot, feels like this episode at least, almost had like a filter on it. Just everybody looked so good.
yes,
I don't know, like season 2 just feels a bit kind of dusty compared to season 3 so far. Amazing. But then we see that Ju goes to see Darius and says she doesn't want to do the finale. Feels like a repeat of season 2. Darius reminds her, what Instant Star has done for her. And she says, was I good for Instant Star or was Instant Star good for me? I feel like her head's kind of got a bit big in this episode. Season 1,
yeah,
at the beginning of season 2, her first album flopped.
yeah,
And going back on Instant Star boosted her stardom again. So Instant Star was good for her. Her saying, maybe I was good for Instant Star, not the other way around. I feel like her album going to number 1 at the end of season 2, she's just developed a bit of an ego that carries through this season, I think.
yes,
And the fact that Darius lets her not do the finale, like he says, okay, he knows that new talent is on the way, whoever wins Instant Star. He doesn't need Jude. Jude will learn that she probably needs G Major more than they need her.
yeah. He's like, she's not my show pony anymore.
Nope. Yeah, I think that's going to carry through the season. And then, of course, we see Jamie and we learn that Liam bailed on G Major. He's gone to find himself somewhere and we never see him again.
Yes.
I miss Liam already.
I know.
I think he would have given a really interesting tone to what season 3 becomes, but we'll never know.
Yes.
And Jude says to Jamie, I'm blasting off on this whole new phase. And again, I think that sets the tone and the theme for season 3 and what Jude is trying to do. Sadie bursts her bubble by bringing her the drunk photos.
Yeah.
And the guy wants 50 grand. So Jude says, let's give him 10. And Sadie says, you know what? These photos aren't even that bad. Like, you're fully clothed. Why are you bothering? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I get that when you're that age, it would be really confronting to have that happen to you, but it could also be a lot worse.
Yeah.
And then Karma, who we don't really know yet, tries to ask Jude for some advice, and Jude's pretty rude to her. She just kind of brushes her off, and Dear Speederman is like, whoa, dude, like, have you forgotten where you come from? Like, you were in her position once. I feel like in this episode, there's a lot of people trying to bring Jude back down to earth.
Yeah. And I feel like Jude is like, no.
Yeah. Like, how much time has passed between her album going number 1 and now?
I mean, it can't be that much. Maybe a couple of months.
We'll talk about this at the end with the Jamie scene, because I think it's been a year.
Oh, do you?
Because of something he says. Otherwise, yeah, I would have said like a month, 2 months. Because season 1 to season 2, she went on tour and then came back from tour. So it was
Yeah.
like a summer. I think it's been longer.
Oh.
I think that explains people's kind of glow up because I think there's been a longer time passed. But then we finally get a call from Tommy. And he says he'll be back soon, quote unquote. And Jude says she needs him, stuff's going down, and that she's thinking of taking off. I'm just like, facepalm. Like, has she learned nothing from the last time she took off? And it's like she suddenly has this built-in instinct to just run when things get difficult.
I wonder who she learned that from.
Probably because her mother took off when things got difficult.
Yeah.
And then obviously we see Tommy with the kid, and it's implying that it's his kid. And then we have the best scene in the whole episode. Patsy in her car in the driveway, brushing her teeth. That is literally the best scene of this episode. And we see Jude's dad, who we haven't seen since season 2, episode 11.
Yeah.
Like, where have you been, Dad? But he says, why is Patsy living in her car? And we get a little bit of an Easter egg about Patsy. Jude says she can't fall asleep unless she's wearing her seatbelt. So I'm just going to leave that there.
Yeah. Not ready for that one.
Nope. And then Jude apologizes to Karma, and they go and blow off some steam. And when I was younger, I used to think that it was a mistake for Jude to confide in Karma about not doing the finale and about the pics. But I think differently now. I feel like Jude was needing a friend. Mason has once again, he's disappeared. Kat left last season. Jamie is her friend, but he's got his own stuff going on. She's looking for someone to talk to about this stuff, and I don't think she did the wrong thing by talking to Karma. She was looking for someone to talk to. And I don't know if Karma was being a bitch by telling Darius.
Right.
What do you think?
I don't really know. I mean, it's hard because it's like I'm trying to not think about where it goes.
Same.
And so it's like not thinking about that. I can see where it's like it is like where Jude is looking for a friend, and Connor's not doing it to be like spiteful on this and to just get ahead. And then I'm like, yeah. So it's really, that's what's hard about doing rewatches.
Yeah, I think that not thinking ahead, I think that actually even thinking ahead, I feel like Karma always remembers that she came from Instant Star and she's not ashamed of it. She embraces it. Whereas Jude has always wanted to overcome this Instant Star label. She doesn't want to be associated with Instant Star. She wants she won and she's very grateful for winning, but she wants to distance herself. I feel like Karma never wants to do that. She embraces
I agree.
She won a competition. And I used to have a problem with Karma as a character. I'm interested to see how my opinions change as we go on, because I don't know, I can see Karma's point. But Karma does end up telling Darius about the blackmailing, and he stops Jude's advance before she can pay the guy. And he says, you know what, I'll make this go away, but you have to sing in the finale. Again, it's a repeat of the beginning of season 2. She had to sing in Instant Star. And she's constantly fighting that branding. And I feel like it was like Stephen Stone said in his interview, Alex, at this point, was trying to distance herself a bit from the TV show Instant Star.
Yeah.
She didn't want, kind of like Miley Cyrus with Hannah Montana, she wanted to create her own career without that.
Oh, yeah.
And again, I can see her point.
Yes, definitely. And, it's interesting because since we did that interview with Steven, it's almost, I could almost see, like, watching the episode today, watching 301 today, I was like, it's like, okay, am I seeing Alex or am I seeing Jude in some of the scenes?
100%. And I think Steven said, life imitates art.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see that a lot in the next 2 seasons.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But getting back to the episode, we have a nice scene with Portia, and she's saying to Jude, Darius isn't trying to be mean. And I really don't think he is. He sees the value in Jude embracing Instant Star.
Mm-hmm.
He's a businessman. He gets it. And Portia says, those pictures aren't half as bad as what Tommy did in the day, and she rattles off these things. And Jude says, yeah, but that was a million years ago that you guys were married. And Portia says, yeah, but we shared something that was pretty hard to forget. Which I think is meant to be implying that, okay, they had a kid, and now that's the kid that Tommy is bringing back. So they're setting you up for this storyline. But they're also setting you up for the actual storyline that plays out.
Yeah.
But of course, at this point, you don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see Jude go to Patsy for advice, because she is really looking for different opinions on this. And Patsy just kind of says to her, you're thinking too hard about this. You shouldn't care so much about your image. And Jude says, I have an image to cultivate. Which is a far cry from graffitiing a billboard with Patsy in season 2. She didn't care about her image then.
No.
So how is, like, the contrast between that and Jude now? I'm wondering where that stemmed from.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
yeah.
Like, I'm definitely starting to see how it could have been longer than, like, a summer that from season 2 to season 3. And I think, I think at some point with the success of her album, Jude had to kind of sip the Kool-Aid somewhat.
Yeah, her album went number 1, and she had to cultivate her image to match it.
Yeah.
She's dressing differently, her hair's different, her mindset's completely different.
Yeah.
And she says to Patsy, I'm not you, which is very true. She isn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's this dichotomy with Jude always, but particularly this season, I think. And then we're backstage at the finale, and Jude says to Karma, Darius hates stilettos. And I used to agree with Jude back then for being mean to Karma, but actually I thought it was really unnecessary watching it now.
Yeah.
She's cultivating this image, but she can be a mean girl when she wants to be.
Oh, like, she can literally be a catty, mean girl high schooler.
Yeah. And again, she's 17, but cultivate your image. Be nicer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dear Jude, she annoyed me this episode.
Yes.
Then we see Tommy. He arrives backstage, and the look that they give each other before you see the kid is gold. Like, Jude literally melts. Her body language just kind of melts when she sees Tommy. But then she sees the kid, who runs to Portia, and she puts 2 and 2 together about their shared history and walks off.
Yep.
Again, I used to agree with her reaction, but in my 30s, I'm like, why didn't you just ask about it? She trashes her dressing room in anger because she didn't just be a grown-up, and Jamie walks in. And this is where I think it's been a year, because Jamie walks in and says, it's time for Jude's annual self-destruction. If you think
Oh.
about it, a year ago would have been when she stormed off at the end of season 2 when Tommy left. So
Yeah.
has Tommy been gone a year? Like, has it been a year since her album went #1 and that's why she suddenly got this shiny new image? And
Oh my god.
I'd never realized that before.
I didn't even catch that.
So maybe it's been a year.
Oh.
It would make sense. Like, she's only just heard from Tommy. A year is a long time to change and grow, and it would make sense too because Mason won Instant Star at the beginning of season 2, so you would think they would run yearly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've cracked some weird Easter eggs that no one ever knew. But Jamie is honest with her. She freaks out. She says she can't do the finale. And he's like, oh my god, grow up. Like, every time Tommy does something or doesn't do something, she freaks out or runs away or refuses to perform. And Jamie is honestly the voice of reason. He says, it's time to grow up.
Like,
Jamie, God.
in my studies, Jamie was hotter in this episode than Tommy ever was.
Yes.
Like, that's weird thinking about Jamie's like a 17, 18-year-old in this episode, but like, I mean, if we place Jamie in like current day, I'm like, Jamie's stud.
Also, Jamie looks amazing this episode. Everybody does, but his hair, I love everybody's hair this episode.
Yes, I'm like, Instant Star got a fabulous
Glow.
hairstylist.
Yeah. But honestly, he's speaking the truth. He's had potentially nearly 3 years of Jude's crap with Tommy. Like, he literally says, do you ever get talking about him? Do you ever get tired of talking about him? And, you know, she's meant to be in this whole new phase. We'll grow up with it then, you know?
Yeah.
So she performs in the finale. She performs her new song, I Don't Know If I Should Stay. And we see Jamie watching her. We see Tommy, Portia, the kid. And after the performance, Jude says to Darius, you know what? I did this for my fans. It's time you start treating me like a pro because I am one. And in my notes, I literally wrote, well, time for you to start acting like one then.
Yes.
Like, great, you performed in the finale. Well, take that on board and become a pro.
Yeah. Do your job without throwing a hissy fit.
Yes. And then we see Karma win Instant Star. And I'm so excited to see where that goes.
Yes.
And Jude goes for this deep thought in the rain. And we also learn that the kid is Darius's, not Tommy's.
Yeah.
First of all, the rain scene, beautiful. One of my favorite scenes. Secondly, I used to hate this bit where we learned that the kid wasn't Tommy's because the build-up at the end of season 2 to now, I hated it. Actually, I love it. I like the misdirect now.
Yeah.
I used to be so bitter about it, but I get it.
Mm-hmm. Well, and now, so for me, it was young and naive. Was yay, that a kid didn't screw up my ship. And then, I went through that phase where I was like, well, that was stupid. It should have been his importance kid.
Yep.
Now I'm like, okay, it's it's like I'm happy again with why it's not because of the storyline that's coming.
Yeah, it wouldn't have made sense for Tommy to have a kid now.
No. Well, and the one that's coming, honestly, so I don't struggle with death in the way that Tommy does. I struggle with death in the way that I've lost the 2 men who raised me. Death is they impactful, and it
Yeah, it
messes.
changes you.
I mean, it literally changes you.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm still working through it, and it's been 30. This year will be 33 years for my dad.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. You miss them every day.
oh yeah,
And it changes you. And I think it's, as a storyline, it makes more sense that Tommy is the way he is and the way he's been because of this thing that we learn about.
yeah,
More than if he had a kid. Like, it just wouldn't fit.
no,
Yeah. But we'll get into that because there's going to be some revealing, that's for sure.
yes,
And then we see Jude come home and she decides to self-publish her drunk photos. And she says, there are 3 people in the world: suckers, victims, and grown-ups. Being a grown-up means you get to choose your own destiny. So I hope this means she's going to become a grown-up this season. And I agree, it's a very grown-up choice to make, to decide to upload your own photos.
mm-hmm,
It's the most mature decision she's made this entire episode.
yes.
Is it because of what Jamie said to her, time to grow up? Or is it because she thought Tommy was a dad and maybe she thought, okay, in that sense, maybe I need to grow up too? Or is it just because she's trying to be more grown up in general?
I mean, I want for her, I want it to be because of what Jamie said, but I think it's because she's thinking, oh, Tommy's a dad. I need to grow up because he's growing up now.
Yeah, they are attached to each other. You know, seeing the way she freaked out when she thought she had a kid, when she thought he had a kid, she couldn't perform. It's like she needs Tommy to breathe.
Yeah.
Red flag, really. Like, again, I used to think it was so romantic. But,
Yes.
yeah. There's a lot of growing up that happens this season.
Mm-hmm.
But that is the episode. Fun fact, you used to be able to go on judeharrison.net and look at those photos.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't think it's an active website anymore, but you used to be able to.
Oh.
But that is the episode. What do you think the episode theme was?
I put victimhood, victim frame of mind.
Oh, yeah. I put choices because she had choices to make.
Yeah.
You can choose to be a victim or a professional or mature. And I think she went through every phase of that this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get into our song review. Song review of I Don't Know If I Should Stay. How many instances 10 do you give this song?
How many do you give it?
9.
9. Music, like for the music and the production and the like that, I gave it a 9. I think it's musically and production wise, it's a beautiful song.
Yeah.
But lyrically, I have to give it like a 4.
Oh, let's talk about it. First of all, this is our first slow song for an episode. Every other song is quite upbeat or very upbeat. This is a ballad.
Yeah. And
So
that's what breaks my heart because I freaking love ballads.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful song.
Ballad girl.
So do you have a favorite lyric? Because this is a new thing we're doing. We're going to review the song and then say our favorite lyric. Should have done that the whole time.
Hold 1 second.
Mine is I ran to you like water. Love that lyric.
I don't know if I have one in this song.
So I thought the lyrics were really beautiful. Talk about why you thought they weren't.
So I have to do some explaining. I'm doing with my Bible study, I'm doing something called the Hear method. And it's hold on. It means highlight, explain, apply, and respond. So you highlight like what stands out to you, you explain and reflect on who it was written to whom, blah 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 blah. You apply it, like how you can apply it to your life, and then you respond usually in like a prayer, genre, this or that. And so I've taken that method and applied it to like a lot of things I'm reading, not just my Bible. And so when I hear, now I gotta find the lyrics because I can't remember what lyric it was. Lyrics. Okay, so here we go. When I heard the song and when I listened to the lyrics, it made me, honestly, it made me think of when I was when I was first getting healthy, both in my mental health, in my health, and through some other things. Because I had that, I knew I needed to get healthy and to cut the ties,
Mm.
but it was really, really scary.
Yeah.
And so the thought was, I know I need this, but a familiar voice, a familiar sound makes it so hard to make that choice. I don't know if I should stay or if I should go.
Mm.
So to me, it made me think about being a victim to addiction, which is something that, thanks be to God, I am 2 years sober of narcotics. And
Congrats.
I'm not using this as some platform to toot my own horn. That's just, when I heard this song, I remember feeling like all this. And then, because to me, that familiar place was staying in my addiction.
Mm.
And
You could argue that Jude's not in an addiction, but she's saying the same thing in these lyrics.
yeah. And so, like, emotionally is why I gave it such a low number, because it's a very hard song for me to listen to emotionally.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful song, and Alex and Greg and Gene O'Brien and Mark Wallace are the beautiful songwriters. It's just, thank God I don't actively listen to this song.
The most powerful songs are the ones that affect you in different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the bridge is my favorite, where she says, I ran to you like water, and I'll stand upon the ocean to show you that I'm strong. Like, she's strong enough to stay away.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fact that it's a ballad, I shouldn't like it as a episode, like as an introduction to the new season. I would have argued before that it should have been upbeat, but I love it. I think it shows the maturity and the way that we're headed musically. As much as I love the season 2 soundtrack, I think there's an immaturity to it compared to season 3.
Oh, yeah.
So I think, yeah, we're headed that way.
And it's interesting because we were telling us when we were talking to Steve, we were telling how he thought there was such a growth from season 1 music to
Yes.
season 2.
And there was, but not as much as this.
Right. Well, I think the songs just get better with each season.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, still to this day, one of my all-time favorite songs from the series is I Still Love You. Like, I still play that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's... Instant Star ran, so TV shows like Nashville... Oh, sorry, Instant Star walked, so TV shows like Nashville could run. Where music was the driving force.
Oh, yeah.
And I wish that more people knew about this show.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any what the fuck moments?
I actually have a couple.
Same.
So my first one was, and I added a little commentary to my first one, was why/how did Tommy, the red flag gaslighter extraordinaire's phone call go through with no problem, but when Jude, always the victim, tried to call him, it failed. Love my commentary. And then, what kind of advance was Jude getting at 17 years old without a parent's signature?
Yes. Oh. I had two as well. When Jude's trying to call Tommy in the limo, his, like, profile picture for him in her contact list is, like, so staged. They always do this in TV shows. It's always, like, a professional photo of the actor that they're then using as the phone pic. Oh, my God. And why is Tommy delivering Darius's kid backstage? Like, wouldn't you just wait till everyone got home? I get that it was for the story, but still.
Right.
That poor child. Okay, what was your favorite quote?
See, I couldn't just pick one. I had 4.
Oh. Go.
Yeah, I tried. When I wrote these 4 down, I was like, okay, I really got to pick one. And then I looked at them, and I'm like, no, I can't get one. No. Okay. So, my first one, not surprised, Queen Sadie had to make her first appearance. Was way to keep those expectations low. Number 2 was, so does the big hair hide the devil horns?
Oh, yeah.
Number 3, no kidding, I face my fears head on. And then number 4, and I literally just went in order as they were said, so they're not actually like in my favorite order. But number 4 was, maybe it's time to grow up. Time to grow up.
Love all of them. I will put all of them on Instagram. My favorite is from Patsy, and she says, more importantly, what's the real you so scared of?
Oh, yes.
I think that sums up the episode. Like, why is Jude so scared, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That was our episode. How many stars out of 10 do you give the episode?
I can't give it 9 yet. I'm like, it's way too early in the season to give it a 9. So I'm going to have to go an 8.
I gave it a 10, not because it's not a perfect episode. There are, like, Jude annoys the crap out of me, for example, but I gave it 10 because it's the most perfect first episode that we've had.
That I can agree with.
It just, I don't know, it hit all the marks for me.
Yeah.
If it wasn't, like, aside from that, I probably would have given it an 8 because it's hard, like, perfect 10 is hard to get. But as a first episode, like, introduction to a season, it's the best one we've had, I think.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to think, because not even season 4 is this good.
I don't actually remember this first episode of season 4. It's going to be a surprise. Yeah. I'm excited. But that was the episode. And just as an aside, we are going to be recapping the minis as well. So weekly, we'll essentially be posting 2 episodes. I'll post the recap as an episode, and then the mini will be a mini recap of the mini itself and what it means for the episode and the season and everything else. So thank you everyone for listening. I think we're the most excited we've been yet.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to The Breakdown, an Instant Star Rewatch podcast. The Breakdown was produced by me, Chloe, and Neon Network Production. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and listen to all episodes of The Breakdown on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. See you next time.